This is our last real sort of schooling session before Cheltenham next week, and a lot of these horses have done their final piece of work yesterday or in the previous few days, and at this stage couldn't be happier with the way the Cheltenham horses are. And Minora did a particularly good piece of work yesterday, and as did all the sort of bigger Cheltenham guns really. And as I say, Richard Johnson's down here this morning to school a lot of them, so they'll school this morning and then hopefully just keep them in one piece before Cheltenham. The closer you get to these bigger meetings, the more tense it gets to keep them in one piece. So, but at this stage, couldn't be happy with the way they are. And since we last spoke, we've won the Racing Post Chase at Kempton with Quins, which was fantastic, and he'll now go for the Grand National. So the horses are generally in good form, and let's hope it continues for another few weeks. Well, that's all the horses that have left the yard now, and we've split them up into the schoolers and those that are just having a canter this morning. So we're going to go up to the schooling field now. Richard's going to ride 8 different horses this morning, so we're going to do it in 8 consecutive lots, just swapping and changing riders over and things. And so we'll make our way up to the top of the farm, see what awaits us. Right, good. So Dickie's just gone on to Dunraven Storm, who will run the Supreme Novices, first race of the Cheltenham Festival. He's had a bit of a layoff just because he doesn't want very soft ground. So he schooled last week, schooled very well, so should be a fairly straightforward exercise, but we'll see in a minute. Very neat. Got perfect ground up here this morning. It's just a nice bit of a cut in it, so ideal for schooling this morning. Obviously this time of the year, the ground can change very quickly, but we had a hard frost yesterday morning, went to -4, but it's +7 this morning, so the ground's come perfectly. We used the grass gallop yesterday and worked horses up there, which again the ground was spot on, so nice to be able to have some good ground to school on at this time of the year, because more often than not that's the ground they'll be running on at Cheltenham next week, so get a feel for it. Another quick change and on to Kilcrea Kim, who will run in the Albert Bartlett, so yeah, Richard rides him. He's had a fantastic season so far, keeps improving. Spot on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine, yeah.
So we've got Kilcrea Kim and Tara Blaze in front. Tara Blaze was a bit disappointing over fences at Newbury last time, jumped very carefully, so he'll probably run over hurdles at Cheltenham. Seems in good form apart from the fences. He's had a long layoff since he last run, so it's always a concern with any horse having had a long period of time off before they run, and especially going to a big meeting like Cheltenham. But he just seems in very good order, so very happy with him at the moment. It's helpful for, probably more so for Richard than it is for us, because he gets a feel for the horses before he gets to the races. Equally, we're very fortunate to have a great team of full-time staff here who are very capable of doing the schooling. We've got Tom O'Brien and Reece Flint who are in sort of 2 or 3 mornings a week, and then we've got Giles Hawkins, Matt Griffiths, plus 7 or 8 other conditionals and amateurs who are well able to do the schooling, and Richard has confidence in their schooling abilities, so therefore there's less need for him to come down, because he knows that the lads here in the yard will be doing a good job getting them ready for the races. Equally, from the governor's and my point of view, we can see whether the horse is jumping well or needs more schooling, and therefore the horse will have more schooling if it needs it. But no, it's great to have Richard's expertise down here, and also as much for the horses as it is to be schooling upsides to the younger jockeys as well, and just helping them out and giving them a bit of advice. So no, someone with his talents, you can never say no. Okay. Come on, Chris. So Captain Chris won the Pendle Novice Chase at Kempton 10 days ago, and he'll probably run he's in the Arkle, but is more likely to run in the Jewson, along with Wishful Thinking probably.
So Dickie's got to decide?
Dickie's got to decide. So he's going to school both this morning. Not that will probably help his decision much, but so that was Captain Chris on the near side, as you saw. So that was very good. So they'll jump the big ones now, and then we've got to start making some decisions about which races they're all going to run in, namely Captain Chris and Wishful Thinking. But I think most of the signs are pointing to both of them running in the Jewson, which won't please Dickie particularly, probably, because he'll have to make the choice between the two of them, which would be a difficult one to call. So glad he's got to make the decision and not me.
He finds that soft very hard work, and I think that's why he tends to go that way.
Yeah. Very good, yeah. I mean, it's gone very well, really. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Just need to get through the next few days, all right. But as long as that goes okay, that'll be grand.
Make sure these baskets are well filled up, please.
Well, we won't make a decision until the last minute on whenever it is, Wednesday morning, the day before, I don't think. Just obviously, I'll be sort of slightly guided by Philip, but obviously Captain Chris, him and Wishful Thinking, I think the ground is a massive key to him, and he hasn't had it all year, so hopefully it should be good ground, and obviously by then I'll have ridden on a Tuesday, so we'll have an idea what the ground's like. But there's very little between them, and whichever one I ride, obviously Tom's going to have a very good ride.
What he's trying to say is he's still sitting on the fence.
So you're going to sit on it until you see the ground?
Yeah, probably, but probably 51% of me says to Captain Chris, 49% says Wishful Thinking. I don't think there is a right decision. I think, unfortunately, a bit of luck in running on the day, probably as much as anything else, will be between them. I mean, again, on all known form, there's very little. And the official handicap has got Wishful Thinking £2 higher than Captain Chris, but for me, I say hopefully the better ground will be an improvement for Captain Chris. So that's as far as we know for now. As
Richard said, we're very, very fortunate to have two such talented horses, and it's just a great shame that they've got to run in the same race. But at least we've got two horses running the race rather than just watch it from the sidelines. So, and Snaptie felt in good form.
Yeah, felt very well. Obviously hasn't run for
no
nearly 18 months, but he's very you know, he's running a champion herd. He knows what it's all about. So the main thing is he's
hasn't forgotten what he's
fit
doing.
and healthy, and
Exactly. No, he's been working really well. Actually, couldn't be happy with the way he's been working. And Kilcurricum, he's in good order as well, really.
Very good, yeah, very fresh. So it's like he's full of himself. So no, I mean, obviously all the horses this morning, none of them felt sort of under the weather or overly quiet. So obviously nice to see they're all fresh and well, and we're ready to go.
Exactly. Well, fingers crossed to keep them going for another week or so, and
That'll do. I think
give you a few winners.
Duke of Luca was the one that he felt really well, and obviously he's been running again on soft ground all year. So hopefully, if it continues drying, he's one that would have hopefully a good chance.
And it's quite a big thing to remember, actually. You know, the quicker ground next week is a lot of these horses won't have had ground that quick, or good ground, you know, all winter. So you know, it could change around the form quite a lot, couldn't it?
Yeah, like I say, him and Captain Chris, and for them, they have, you know, they really want good ground. They haven't had it, you know, even since their first run of the season. So he's a horse as well, Duke of Luca, that really got better and better last season and ran really well behind Pedlar's Cross at Aintree. And if he can, re-show that form, he's got to have a great chance in a handicap.
Fantastic.
So,
let's have some winners.
Fingers crossed.
So Minora has just run the twice this season. He's schooled plenty. Hasn't schooled for a bit, but should only need one school before Cheltenham realistically. So we'll see how we get on.